Hi, my name is Jeff, and this is Thomas Edison with his first light bulb. Now, you may be wondering how a light bulb relates directly to your success when it comes to exchanging your timeshare. So listen and watch this 3-minute story to find out. Watch us now until the end and discover a surprise I have for you today. So back in 1878, one of America's greatest inventors, Thomas Edison, was working on creating the first commercially practical incandescent electric light bulb. Edison and his staff had tested more than 1,000 different materials before he successfully patented a long-lasting light bulb with a carbon filament. When asked by a reporter how it felt to fail 1,000 times, he famously quipped, "If I find 1,000 ways something won't work, I haven't failed, and I'm not discouraged, because every wrong attempt discarded is often a step forward." Well, when I first came across that story, it reminded me of my first timeshare exchange to Hawaii. I had previously done many exchanges in the U.S. and had been, mostly happy with the results. But unlike Edison, I hadn't done 1,000 timeshare exchanges. And here's what's funny about that. Because I was in the timeshare industry, I'd get comments like, "Well, you must be a timeshare exchange expert." And I thought I was. While in fact, I was the exact opposite because I believed a terrible lie. And you may have experienced the very same thing. I remember this as it were yesterday, June 4th, 2002. It was a gorgeous sunny day with a warm breeze blowing through my hair as I drove in a convertible with the top down. I was wearing my favorite, most comfortable shorts my wife had bought for me, a Tommy Bahama shirt, sandals, and sunglasses. And I was with my beautiful wife of 7 years. We had just landed on the island of Kauai, Hawaii, and we were on our way out to our timeshare resort, 30 miles north in the town of Princeville. And I was really excited because I had convinced her to go to my favorite island, Kauai, for our 7th anniversary. Now, the story you're about to hear is pretty bad in places, but this was the experience that led me from being like the average timeshare owner, settling for whatever mediocre exchange they gave me, to becoming a timeshare exchange expert and getting into the best timeshare resorts RCI and Interval International had to offer. And I think you want that too. And it simply wasn't going to get any better unless I took action. And I did, just like you're about to today. Despite knowing this, I guess I didn't feel it deep enough as I needed to experience one really embarrassing, horrific event to really get me on the path to unraveling the secrets to the exchange process once and for all. So after passing one gorgeous resort after another, my stomach dropped when I saw the plain, small building that was the main office. After checking in, we drove to our condo thinking, how bad could it be? I mean, we've got a timeshare exchange to Hawaii. And then my worst fear came true. No sooner had we walked in the condo than we realized our romantic anniversary getaway was ruined. Just then, my wife called me to come and take a look at this awful bathroom, and I couldn't believe it when I saw the horrible old toilet and moldy shower. My heart sank as I watched the joyful anticipation on my bride's face turn to a look of utter disappointment. I felt like a total loser, like someone who couldn't be trusted to even make a simple exchange, let alone plan a romantic anniversary trip. And worst of all, I was now witnessing the anger building on my wife's face, like a cartoon character turning red with steam blowing out of their ears. So right then and there, I made a vow to myself. I will get this timeshare thing figured out, or I will die trying. And about now, you may be wondering how this relates to Edison's light bulb. Well, that's an excellent question, and I'll answer it now. And if you stay with me to the end, I promise you the light bulbs will go off in your mind, motivating you to view your timeshare in a whole new light. When I thought of Edison's quip, I knew I didn't have the time or the resources to do 1,000 timeshare exchanges. I had to figure out a way to see what worked and what didn't fast. I didn't want to waste any more money or valuable vacation time getting bad exchanges, and I'm betting you don't either. So I did the only thing that I could. I made a commitment to personally dissect 1,000 of my own clients' timeshare exchanges to see what was really going on. I swore I'd take advantage of my connections at RCI and II to pick the brains of the top pros to discover the secrets of how each system really worked. And armed with that information, I ended up formulating a step-by-step blueprint that I followed, and thousands of others have also followed, that can create massive success in exchanging your timeshare. And I'm going to give you 3 fantastic tips from that blueprint that you can apply immediately, so you don't have to waste more time and money on getting bad exchanges. But first, I need to tell you about some of the lies that you may have heard or told yourself that are keeping you from getting the best timeshare exchanges. And here's one of the big lies I bought into. I mean, that you have to own a top brand name timeshare like Four Seasons, Hyatt, Hilton, or Westin to get to the best resorts in RCI or II, or even just to get an exchange to high-demand resort areas like Hawaii and the Caribbean. That's why I took the first thing to come along on my exchange request. And what a mistake that turned out to be. I mean, you may have even experienced this as well. What a load of nonsense. I mean, please, if you've ever believed this, stop right now. And I'll explain why in a moment. Just know this, countless other smart men and women have fallen victim to this rather clever lie. Yet you have to lay it aside right now. And if you don't, you'll never enjoy the biggest benefit of owning a timeshare. And you'll end up either going to your home resort every year or accepting a 2-star resort wherever your exchange network decides you can go, or lowering your expectations just trying to find something, anything that's available. Or even worse, losing your week altogether after paying your maintenance fee. And you may even give up altogether and sell your timeshare for pennies on the dollar. We both want more for you than this, right? Of course, so keep watching. Now, the truth is, there are about 8 million timeshare weeks a year made available for exchange by RCI and II, and this is in the U.S. alone. And the timeshare owners that have uncovered the secrets of getting great exchanges are getting into the best resorts and the best vacation destinations, regardless if they own top brand name timeshare. And these savvy exchangers didn't have to pay top dollar and top maintenance fees for their timeshares. So in other words, they bought low and traded high. I mean, there are 2 reasons for their success. First, they follow a step-by-step plan that gives them the most exchange power. And second, because the vast majority of timeshare owners unknowingly destroy their exchange power before they even request an exchange, the savvy exchangers face far less competition. And this leaves the pick of the litter for the privileged few. So now that you know just one of your problems, that you've been unknowingly destroying your exchange power for all these years, let's dive into the 3 tips I have for you today. These exact tips were my personal exchange gold mine, putting me on the road to the success I have today, and you soon will have. One of the biggest mistakes timeshare owners make that destroys their exchange power is they wait to be billed their maintenance fees before they bank their week. Now, you must avoid doing this at all costs. You can, and always should, pay next year's maintenance fee this year. Now, I know you're probably thinking I'm crazy right now. I mean, most people don't like paying their maintenance fees in the first place, and here I am telling you to pay them a year or more in advance. Well, here's the reason. Neither RCI nor II will let you bank your week until your maintenance fees are paid. And I'm pretty sure you have all been encouraged by both exchange companies to bank early, but they neglect to emphasize just how important it is. So allow me. The earlier you bank your week, the more exchange power you enjoy. Simple enough, right? But here's what you may not know. If I bank my week even 1 minute before you, everything else being equal, I have more exchange power than you. And here's where light bulbs should be going off. I mean, you know you're supposed to bank early, but what the heck is early? To some people, that may mean 3 months, and 6 months to others. Early to the Timeshare Exchange Ninja means always bank next year's week this year. And the only way you can do that is by paying your maintenance fees early. I seriously love the timeshare owners that wait until they're billed in January to pay their maintenance fees. It simultaneously weakens their exchange power and strengthens mine. Now that you know what the experts mean by banking early, you'll be more likely to put it into effect. And this is just one of the many things that you can do to supercharge your exchange power. And here's the beauty of this simple strategy. You don't have to know where you want to go on exchange in order to bank your week. Now I'll say that again. You don't have to know where you want to go in advance to bank your week. Most timeshare owners don't understand this, so they wait until January or later to deposit their week. This results in a huge reduction of their exchange power, to the enormous benefit of those who don't wait. Now, I can't emphasize enough how essential this first simple step is to your exchange success. And when coupled with the next 2, you'll be on your road to dominating the exchange process. So here's tip 2, a strategy that very few timeshare exchange owners know to do. When placing your request with RCI or Interval International, make sure to ask how many weeks are deposited into the exchange pool during the time that you want to be there. I don't believe that the information comes up automatically on the exchange counselor's screen, so it's not likely he's going to do your thinking for you. And with thousands of resorts, the counselor won't know the answer off the top of his head. So you must ask him to look it up. This may seem like common sense, but very few timeshare owners know to ask this. And neither RCI nor II freely volunteer this information. The response you receive, however, greatly increases your chances of getting confirmed. Intuition will tell you that all of the major holiday weeks have a higher demand. In fact, each year so many exchangers have requested a holiday week that there's always a waiting list for them. What is not so evident is the amount of holiday inventory actually deposited with RCI or II is far less than other weeks of the year. And one of the reasons for this is holiday weeks are usually sold as fixed weeks and for a substantial premium. For that reason, customers that buy them are less likely to give them up for exchange. But here's what isn't so obvious. The same thing occurs with local holidays. During the first 2 weekends of March each year, one of my favorite events is held in the Sonoma wine country. It's called Barrel Tasting Weekend and has grown into a major local event. Now, under normal circumstances, the first 2 weeks of March wouldn't be very highly demanded there. And even though the timeshare resorts most likely didn't sell those weeks as fixed or for a premium, they have become very high demand for the owners to use. So the supply of those weeks going into RCI and II has dwindled. Another example of a local holiday during an otherwise less demanded time of the year is the Bisbee's Black and Blue Marlin Tournament in Cabo, San Lucas. It's the largest and richest Marlin tournament in the world. It's held the last week in October, and many of the people that own timeshares in Cabo are either fishing the tournament, watching it, or renting out their units. There are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of high-demand local holiday weeks spread across the timeshare globe that the average timeshare exchanger knows nothing about. So now you can see how powerful it is to ask this one simple question. And armed with this information, you'll be far better equipped when placing an exchange request to know your chances of getting it. So far, I've covered two of the biggest problems timeshare owners cause themselves when doing an exchange and what to do about it. By making these two simple changes, the quality of your timeshare exchanges will be much better. You may even wake up in the one resort you never thought you'd be able to exchange to, feeling like a billionaire. And that's not all. You'll look forward to doing this again every year and traveling all over the world in luxury and style. Your friends and colleagues will be stunned when they see you effortlessly achieving the most fabulous timeshare exchanges when they still act as if exchanging a timeshare is more difficult than winning the lottery. And it's about to get even better, because now I'll be sharing the third vital tip to becoming a master at exchanging your timeshare. And I call it strategizing your request. A warning, without using this tip, you can forget about those other tips I just shared with you. I mean, this tip is that crucial. Avoid using this strategy and you will literally render ineffective all of the good you've done up until this point. But first, some background. Unless you own one of the best timeshares in the world, or you know and use all of the secrets, tricks, and strategies a timeshare pro uses, 9.9 times out of 10, you will only be shown availability in the lesser demanded resorts and times of the year. The reason for this is simple. The premium resorts and times of year always have a waiting list to get in. So anytime you request an exchange into one of these, your results will always come up not available. And many people misinterpret not available to mean it will never become available. And this just isn't the truth, if you know what you're doing. Not knowing this, many exchangers simply take what they can get. In other words, they settle for less. In order to have a shot at getting into the best resorts, you must start an ongoing or pending search. That means you give RCI or II some resort choices and dates, then pray you'll be confirmed sometime in the future, hopefully before the date of your vacation. Now, I've given you two very valuable insights of how to get a better exchange, and combined with the third I'm about to give you, I guarantee you'll get far better exchanges. But in this short video, I've only given you the tip of the timeshare exchange iceberg. There's so much more that you can do to supercharge your timeshare exchange. So stick with me and I'll tell you how to do it in the next 2 minutes. Deal? So here's tip number 3. The most common mistake an exchanger makes when starting a pending or ongoing search is not giving RCI and II enough options. Most exchangers think they're giving them plenty, but in reality they're not. I mean, they pick 2 or 3 of the best resorts that RCI and II have to offer, start a pending search, then sit back and wait to be confirmed. I mean, this will only work if you're a pro. When you're not a ninja timeshare exchanger, you have to think of requesting an exchange like you would fishing. And quite simply, the broader you cast your net, the more fish you catch. So don't be afraid to request 8, 10, 15, or more resorts in the beginning. I mean, once you've learned how to maximize both your exchange and request power, you can be far more selective. But we're not at that point yet. And just as there are many powerful ways to enhance your exchange power, there are also many strategies you can use to enhance your requesting power. Far too many to cover in a short video. But a good start is to remember to request as many different resorts as possible, as far in advance as possible. Now, I guarantee that by applying just these 3 tips I've given you today, you will enjoy much better timeshare exchanges. But the entire formula I've uncovered and perfected over the years, which I'm about to reveal to you, gives you the ability to go where you want, when you want. Plus, you can talk about incredible, just picture yourself. Here you are, sitting on the beach at your luxury resort, drink in hand. You're watching your family having the times of their life, feeling awesome about yourself. When all of a sudden your best friend sitting next to you clinks glasses with you and smiles, happy to be invited along. And he marvels at you. So, how on earth were you able to get this 5-star resort with your timeshare? I mean, you were ready to give up on exchanging forever. What's up? Well, here's what's up. You now know an important part of the formula. The secret to working the exchange network that guarantees you can the exchanges you want year after year, going to all of your favorite vacation spots. And do it all easily and effortlessly every time. These proven success tactics and so much more are yours for the taking starting today. Hi, I'm Jeff Pierce, the creator of the Timeshare Exchange Bibles for RCI and Interval International, the world's first and only A to Z system that allows you to exchange into the best timeshare resorts worldwide. The only system to give you the secrets to mastering RCI and II so you can take the timeshare vacations you want without having to plan years in advance. This tested, proven, and efficient blueprint for timeshare exchange success can work for any timeshare, even if you have a low-demand resort or week. In other words, no matter what you own, you'll be guaranteed far better exchanges by applying the tips, techniques, strategies, and secrets found only in the Timeshare Exchange Bible. Now, to save your time and mine, let me be upfront and tell you what the Timeshare Exchange Bible is not, just so you know exactly what you're about to experience. The Timeshare Exchange Bible isn't a one-step magic pill or another Timeshare for Dummies book that will leave you in the dark, or some flimsy little report with a few well-known recommendations that will do little or no good, or for someone who expects to call RCI and II in October and get Christmas in Hawaii. The Timeshare Exchange Bible isn't pie-in-the-sky fantasy land nonsense. I mean, it's the real deal, and is only for folks like you who are really serious about getting the best exchanges. I mean, in short, there are no easy answers to exchanging your week, but the Timeshare Exchange Bible makes getting the exchanges you desire as easy as it gets. Now, I've taken what I've learned in more than a quarter of a century in the industry, combined that with the knowledge I mined from RCI and II representatives. Added to that what I've personally learned from making more than 50 of my own exchanges, and added to that what I've learned from analyzing the exchanges of 1,000 of my personal clients. So if you're like most folks watching this presentation, and you're 100% ready for real answers to getting the exchanges you desire, here's what you're going to receive. On pages 35 through 44, you'll discover the many different ways to strategize your request, such as the straddle and the multiple region searches. Now, I call this the strategic request and guarantees you'll get the exchange you want. On page 14, you'll find the 7 criteria that determine your exchange power, which will give you an unfair advantage over other timeshare exchangers when it comes to supercharging your exchange power. On pages 39 through 40, you'll find a case study on how Rob and Kathy employed the strategic request to do one of the most difficult exchanges you'll ever encounter, getting Christmas week in the ski resort. Now, here's what people who have already used the Bible are saying. Drin James wrote and said, "Before, I only dreamed of Hawaiian and Caribbean vacations. Now I'm taking my mother to Africa. You brought to light many methods of booking I had not considered." And Karen Aislinn said, "Your suggestions were immensely helpful, particularly with our plans to visit Hawaii. Although we have several timeshares, the trade process always seems to be rather complex." Now, you may believe that a system that can do all of that for you, and much more, costs a pretty penny. And, in all honesty, it really should. After all, this system has helped thousands of folks, just like you, enjoy some of the best times of their lives experiencing 5-star vacations. Here's what you'll receive when you claim your Bible today. Now, first off, you'll get either the RCI or the Interval International Timeshare Exchange Bible. And as you can easily see, there's no easier and faster way to become a master at exchanging your timeshare, so your next vacation will be the best one ever. I've designed the Bibles from the ground up to be absolutely foolproof, baby simple in fact. And this simplicity ensures anyone can follow the steps and get the best exchanges in RCI and II. The price of either timeshare Bible sold by itself could easily be valued at $97. And you know what? That's an absolute steal considering how much you've already paid for something that isn't working for you. Any tool that has a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee in writing to work for you is well worth $97, of course. However, just for watching this presentation today, I'd like to surprise you with a much better deal. It's a deal that's only available here on this page, so whatever you do, keep watching. Like I mentioned, the value of the Bibles is $97, and before I show you that better deal, I want to share this one super bonus that I'm going to give you today. It's a unique super bonus that I mentioned earlier, one that's free when you take action now, and one that will make all the difference in your exchange success. Today, when you take action, I'm going to include the world's best resorts in RCI and II. Now that you are a master at exchanging your timeshare, you will want to know which resorts are world class. Whether you exchange with RCI or II, your report contains more than 140 of the best your exchange network has to offer, many of which you would not uncover on your own. They have the finest locations, accommodations, restaurants, and activities in the world. And staying in one of these top resorts will be an experience your family will never forget. Many of my clients exchange exclusively from these lists. Now, easily valued at $97, it's yours free today. You'll receive the report that matches the Bible you choose, either RCI or II. So now you can see that the Bible and the all-time greatest resorts in RCI and II have a retail value of $194. But today, you will not be paying the retail value of the Timeshare Exchange Bible and the Super Bonus. Not even close. So your investment today will not be $150. Not even half that. Not even $59. Your total investment today, which includes either the II Timeshare Exchange Bible or the RCI Timeshare Exchange Bible and the Super Bonus, is only one payment of $29.97. Have a look below this video right now and then click on the button below to lock in your discounted price today for only $29.97. And if you look below this video right now and take action within the next 5 minutes, you'll also receive 3 additional fast action bonuses you'll see below worth over $50. Now, your first free gift is what to pack for any trip to make sure you'll never forget anything on vacation. So whether you're going to vacation on the beach, snow skiing, taking the kids to Orlando, or traveling abroad, these handy checklists will make sure that you have everything you need. This report's valued at $19.97, but it's yours free today. Your second free gift today is the Natural Disaster Preparedness Guide. This report contains what to do before, during, and after an earthquake, tsunami, or hurricane. So now you'll be prepared with all of the information you need to comfortably and safely travel 12 months of the year to any area of the world you choose. The information in this guide could literally save your lives and the lives of your family. This report is valued at $19.97, but it's yours free today. Now, your third free gift today is almost free, the Definitive Guide to Bargaining in Mexico. This special report will save you hundreds of dollars while buying gifts and souvenirs in Mexico or any bazaar in the world. And valued at $14.97, it's yours free today. And that brings your total value of the Bible and all 4 bonuses to over $240. Yet it's all yours today for only one single payment of $29.97. Now listen, don't decide right now. Take advantage of my unconditional triple guarantee. Just try either one of the Timeshare Exchange Bibles for yourself for a full 30 days. If you don't feel like you're equipped with the knowledge to get the exchanges you most desire in those 30 full days, or if you don't experience a much higher level of resort properties you exchange to, or even if you just don't like the way the books are designed, the font face I use, you name it, I'll gladly refund every penny in full. No questions, no hassles. So look below this video right now. Click on the button below to claim your discounted price now. Of course, you could choose to continue on the path you're on right now and pay 10, 20, maybe even 100 times this much money in the near future in the form of paying for hotel rooms because you can't get the exchanges you want. Or for paying for those resort vacations you do take. Not the fabulous timeshare resorts. No, we're talking about the ones you're forced to buy because you can't get the exchanges you desire year after year. And let's not forget about the initial cost of your purchase and the yearly maintenance fees that just keep going up every year. That's a real killer. And neither of us see that as your future, right? Click the button below that says, yes, I want to get started now in RCI, or yes, I want to get started in II. And let's get you started on the best vacations ever. You still there? If you're still watching, I bet you still have some questions. Here are the most common questions I get and the answers to help you out. I've never understood how to exchange. Is there a large learning curve with your system? Well, most timeshare owners are confused about the exchange process, so don't feel alone. It's one of the biggest complaints in the industry. So doing any timeshare exchange is much more different than making a hotel reservation, even though your salesperson told you it was easy. While there is a learning curve, both Bibles are laid out in a logical, clearly written, and easy-to-follow sequence, so you can get up and running the day you read them. I've never had success with RCI or II before. I mean, how can you guarantee it? Well, I've already helped thousands of timeshare owners get better exchanges with the Bible. I mean, they are the proof. Plus, the Bible comes with a no questions asked money-back guarantee for any reason if you don't find this the absolute best information anywhere on exchanging. Is the money-back guarantee really unconditional? Yes. I'm already getting good exchanges. Well, I'll get better ones. Yes, without a doubt. I mean, if you already know every trick and strategy I've mined out of RCI and II and thousands of my owners in the last quarter of a century, you don't need the Bible and you get your money back. Will it work with any timeshare, even bad ones? Yes, the Timeshare Exchange Bible will help you get the best exchanges regardless if you own a top-of-the-line or bottom-of-the-barrel resort. I mean, you'll need even more help if you don't own a really highly demanded resort a week. Can I really get more exchange power from applying the tips? Absolutely. Many timeshare owners unknowingly damage their exchange power, and the tips and the strategies the Bible provides assures that you'll never happen to you again. I own a brand name, highly demanded resort, and I've never gotten good exchanges. Will the Bible help? Well, yes, it will, and enormously. I mean, the better quality you own, the more power you have to play with. And if you already own a great resort and aren't getting the best exchanges, a whole new world is about to open to you. I've been lied to ever since I bought my timeshare. I mean, how do I know that I can trust you? Well, you don't. I mean, that's why you have 30 days to see if I'm blowing hot air. If you don't think the Timeshare Exchange Bible is the absolute best information on exchanging your timeshare, period, you can request your money back with just one click. And you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Will I be able to plan less in advance now? Well, yes, but obviously many different factors affect how far in advance you have to plan to get what you want. A big part of the Timeshare Exchange Bible is how to go about placing your request to ensure that you'll get what you want. And it's called the strategic request. And it covers both what to do if you need to get confirmed quickly or if you have time to plan. Will it work with off-season weeks? Yes, the Bible works well with any week or resort. Will it work with non-Gold Crown and non-Premier resorts? Yes. You especially need the help the Bible provides if you don't own a Gold Crown or Premier resort. Will I get into Hawaii or the Caribbean even if I don't own a high-demand resort? Yes. Once you apply the secrets and strategies contained in the Bible, you'll be packing your bags for that tropical vacation you always desired. How flexible do I have to be? Well, as little or as much as you desire. By applying everything in the Bible, you can be less flexible and get the exchange you want. Can I really exchange into a Four Seasons, Hyatt, or Disney? Yes. I mean, within reason. Most timeshare owners will be able to get an exchange into these highly desirable resorts if they follow the Bible's recommendations. But I mean, if you own a dump of a resort and want Christmas week in the Beaver Creek Hyatt with 2 months advance reservation, the Bible's not for you. Will I have special privileges with RCI or II if I buy your book? Nope. You will, however, now know more about the exchange process and how to get a great exchange than the RCI or the II vacation counselor you'll be speaking to. So remember, along with your Timeshare Exchange Bible, the world's first and only A to Z system of how to exchange into the best resorts in RCI and II, you'll also be receiving what to pack for any trip. These handy packing lists make sure that you never forget anything again, whether you're going skiing, to the beach, Orlando, or Europe. The Natural Disaster Preparedness Guide. You and your family will now be prepared to safely travel the world and to know what actions to take if unexpectedly caught in a life-threatening situation. Almost Free. The Definitive Guide to Bargaining in Mexico. A book that will save you a fortune when shopping in the markets, bazaars, and on the beaches anywhere in the world. And my super bonus. The world's best resorts in RCI and II, so you'll never ever guess which resorts offer the best vacation experiences in the timeshare exchange world. Click the button below, and let's get you started now.